Oh, hey, a quick reminder. Someone out there is actually putting in way less effort than you are in making the same amount. So, why are you working so hard?
What a lot of people do in quiet quitting is they recognize that additional effort is not rewarded.
I see that your performance has been really low recently. You walk slowly on purpose. I've seen you. Well, you do get what you pay for. Am I right?
When an employee only does what's required, it's called quiet quitting. No, it's called doing your job. If I'm supposed to go above and beyond, then so should my pay. Don't expect something for nothing, right?
I would say if you are full-time in employment, this is my advice to you. Be the last one in and the first one out, and do as little as you can for maximum pay.
A popular one lately is quiet quitting.
Yeah.
Do you feel like this is a way for people to support a healthy boundary? Or is it something that people use as an excuse for just
Both.
not working hard?
Yeah, both.
You should stop. You should act your wage.
What's up? What's up? I got a new jam for y'all. This one's for Tyrone. He can understand the words on this one. A little bit more his speed.
They say act your way, but I know that's a cage. If you give the bare minimum, you'll never turn the page.
Go ahead, hit the like button, guys.
Eyes in the wings,
Just the Guys
ready
podcast.
to replace. But you're the one who can outshine the rays. Do more than you're paid for. Build your own world.
We on week 9.
It's not just a job.
Week 9.
It's your mark on
What's up,
this
Scrapping Beauty?
earth. Love
Voice of
how
Reason in
you
the chat.
live.
Gippy in the chat. What's up,
Work
Momo?
with your soul, the skills that you gain.
So Momo's in the chat. I think Momo comes here to learn from Gippy.
We appreciate the Scrapping Beauty.
The way you do one thing, that's how you do all.
That's right. Best user male for life.
Show up with fire, and you'll
hope they don't
never feel
transition.
small. The pay isn't just in the cash they hand out. It's the wisdom you earn that clears any doubt. Do more than you're paid for.
Welcome back from vacation, CT. He's in Hawaii right
It's
now.
not
Hawaii.
just a job. It's your mark on this earth. Love how you live. Work with your soul. The knowledge you gain will help you reach your goal.
The finest mineral water looks like. Spring water.
They told me just stay in line. Don't
It is
try
crazy
to
what AI
stand
can do,
tall.
though, man. Definitely,
But I refuse
I've
to
replaced
play
my music
small.
skills with AI.
When my purpose calls, act your ways, they say. But I know that's a trap. If I give more today, I'll never collapse. I'm building with heart, not just chasing a check. Every skill I gain is my future's architect. I'll outwork the machine, make my mark in the dust. Because the value I build is the value I trust.
I didn't know AI music could be so soulful. What do y'all think about that?
Stop being afraid,
Huh?
and you're not going to be able to tell it apart from real stuff.
Hold on, I got it's on loop. Let me change that. All right, here we go. There we go. What's up, guys? Welcome to Just the Guys podcast. We are classic men changing the world. I got my guys with me. It's me, Logic. We got Soldiers of Finance, Mr. Tyrone Keys, Darth Gimpy himself, Voice of Reason, and of course, it wouldn't be complete without Mr. CT, Chaotic Truth Live. How you guys doing tonight, man?
Doing good. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. All right, so this week's chapter has been on, and I hate making it sound like a book club, but you know, I've been applying it for life, applying it to my life. but it was on doing more than paid for, and just kind of looking at what's going on in the world today. I looked up. There were a few terms that just started appearing, and one was quiet quitting. Have you guys heard of quiet quitting?
I have.
Sadly, yes.
So what have you heard about that, Mr. Keys?
Well, just, we used to call it working to rule. Just doing what's in your job description, nothing more. If you are 9 to 5, you get there at 8:59 and you leave promptly at 4:59.
So what have you heard, Mr. Gimpy?
Same thing. It's the trend of not working hard for companies that don't care. I mean, I don't blame people for that, to be fair. It's a different world than it was when I was a kid even. And as a result, people don't want to give the effort that's needed to excel when they don't feel like they will excel. So here we are.
So is the only benefit to working hard that with that from the job, or is there any other benefit to working hard?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I work hard every fucking day, and half the time no one can fucking notice it, man. That doesn't matter. It's about my worth. And what I do for me, I monitor my life about it's what my dad used to tell me when I came home and I said I got the highest grade in the class, but it was a C, Tyrone. I bet you your dad said the same fucking thing my dad said, Tyrone. I don't care that the other kids got worse than a C. A C's not going to walk in this house.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, dude, I'm sorry. I don't care that people do this or that companies don't care. I do what represents me the best possible way because I got to go find the next job and the job after that.
Yeah.
So, but you can't blame these kids. What is the 22-year-old coming into a company where 90% of their workers is a dead-end workforce? There's some lateral movement between departments, maybe minimal movement for the top 2.5%. There's no real incentive. They show no real appreciation. Most of these places went from having the banger Christmas parties where they take their staff to a hotel to zero Christmas parties.
Yeah.
It
has changed a lot. No, you're definitely right. But look, I want to get Reason in here real quick. Reason and CT, man. Reason, have you heard of quiet quitting or even the other term, act your wage?
Yeah, it's more of a malicious compliance thing. Every now and then I fall into that.
So you do it, is what you're saying. You act your wage.
Every now and then I fall into what I call malicious compliance. You do just exactly what you're told to do, exactly to the T, even if someone else needs something different. That's not what you were told to do. It's the specific thing that you were told to do. You do. However, my father, when I was younger, told me that we are the gazelle, and if we stop running, the lion will eat us. So that is the way I look at it. I look at it as the people who are supposed to see what I do are the ones who are going to see it, because I am a representation of myself and my family wherever I am. So I'm not going to walk around sitting here thinking in the concept of getting a...
I'm sorry. I just have to point out he called himself Prey. Like that, this just keeps going and no one is saying anything. You just
My dad's African. My dad's African, man.
Line, but how about you? Your dad said the shark said, "Don't ever stop moving because you die."
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Shark, but instead you're the gazelle getting cut. I can't. Dude, did no one notice that he picked you? Am I the only one? Am I? I'm sorry. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I don't mean to disrespect, but dude, you picked being Prey. Like you could have told the point and said you were the shark, and a shark can't stop moving, so it'll die. But you picked that you were being hunted by a lion, dude.
Hey, well, Reason Scrapping Beauty is on your side.
Much obliged. Give me another one. I mean, these old African proverbs or old ancient proverbs. Give me another one that's known.
Scrapping Beauty is on your side. She said, "You're not prey." For voice of reason, you're not prey. But you mentioned malicious
I'm sorry,
compliance.
No
Yeah, malicious compliance. Is there benevolent compliance? That because malicious, like there's a bad intent with that, isn't there?
There to an extent, yes, because they know for a fact, or the people who practice that or gray rock theory, pretty much their mentality is, I'm going to stay right within the confinements of these two lines. There's no leeway either way. So, and because of that, whatever happens outside of that leeway is needed, it's missed because I'm going to do exactly what I was told to do. And that can mess up the aspect of working with other people. That can mess up the aspect of a lot of different things in the workplace, So yeah, I get that.
So CT, have you heard those terms before? Not malicious compliance, but quiet quitting and act your wage.
Yeah. Am I echoing?
No, you're not echoing, but you are loud.
Your gain is up, man.
Oh, here, let me lower the mic. What about now? Is that good?
You're good. No, you're good.
Yeah, it is called the Costanza effect. If anybody is a Seinfeld watcher, Gimpy, obviously because he's from New York and not Jewish. George Costanza in many episodes, George Costanza, you could argue some of his behavior at work were quiet quitting, right? The episode where let me see, there was an episode, the angry face strategy, right? The employee who always looks annoyed, looks like he's working, right? You can argue the episode where he's taking a nap under his desk. It showed like a dedication to the job, like he's taking a nap while on break or something. You could argue some of the things he did at work was quiet quitting. My last job, I practiced quiet quitting.
Did you do it on purpose?
Believe it or not, I did it on purpose because I realized hard work, staying late after, volunteering your time and services, doing extra, people disrespected you. But I noticed when I started doing quiet quitting, not taking the extra assignments, not going above and beyond, for some reason, magically, people loved me. And eventually I did what is called, what is it called? Gimpy, help me out here. It's called loud sabotage. And that's essentially what George did in an episode where he wanted to get fired from the Yankees to go work at the Mets. So he started to sabotage the actual place of employment. So there's a lot you can do in terms of using this argument. So quiet quitting is exactly what Voice of Reason is saying. Just doing what you were told in that job description. And so, yeah, I've heard of this before, man. I've heard of this before. And so, I actually, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish, because I do have a follow-up question.
No. What's the question? What's the question? Go ahead, buddy.
Is this more of a challenge in corporate environments or small businesses as well?
Both. I never worked in the corporate world. I can only assume this obviously happens more there. Oh, I don't know if it happens more there or less, but I know in the nonprofit sector and in the government sector, I know that doing the bare minimum, doing exactly what you are told, nobody really notices you. Woo! I love that. I love that shit. But I notice when you do too much, man, people throw you under the bus. You get the most write-ups. When you just do too much, man, that's when trouble comes, man.
Now, where did we can go back around the horn of this, because Where did you learn to do too much from, CT? Where did you get that idea that you need to do more?
I was all doing more. You said,
Yeah, just you said doing too much. Like,
oh, well,
why when you started the
I
job? Yeah, why when you started the job, you didn't just say, "I'm gonna just do exactly what the job
brother,
says."
because I thought the world was one way, but it
But
was
what
really
gave you
the
that
other way.
impression? What gave you that
Because
impression?
I had a very romantic view of the world. I thought that the world was like an episode of the Cosby Show. Oh man, if I just study and go to college and I do everything I'm told, I'm a good guy. I thought the world was like a different world. College is Disney World. Let's be honest about it, right? It doesn't really teach you. The real world doesn't give a F about you. The real world only cares about rainmakers. The real world doesn't give a goddamn about your intrinsic value. It's just, can you make this company money or not, motherfucker? We don't care what you're doing. So you could do too much, but if you ain't really bringing in any Skrilla, you just as liable as anybody else on the job market. So going into the probation department, education, case management, I was doing too much. I was working outside the bounds of hours, calling the kids' parents and checking in. Hey, how's such and such doing? And blah 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 blah, and doing too much. Because then when you don't satisfy something from a parent, they complain on you, even though you're not even on the clock. You're doing too much. You're doing too much when you are in probation, which I was in. Hey, brother, this is the 5th time you've come in and you've tested positive for PCP. Now, normally I should lock you up, but because you a brother, I'm going to give you another chance. Then that guy goes and does a crime, and well, it says here you didn't lock him up the first time. Why didn't you lock him up the first time?
Mm-hmm.
Doing too much. Discretion. And these are the things that get you fired, undermined, thrown under the bus. So when you just go in and, hey man, you tested positive for coke, man. Well, can you give me a chance? I'm already clicking the button and the sheriff is already coming to arrest you at that point. I don't know what you're talking about, man. All right, next. I learned. I just learned through going to work and going through the motion, and it taught me very well, man. If I were to go back into the workforce, I'd be perfect. Hey, CT, you want to go out for lunch with us? Nah. Hey, close my door, man. Close my door, buddy. No. Hey, CT, you want to come to the Christmas party? No. Hey, close my door, man. Close my door. No. I don't want to get to know you. I don't want to fraternize. I'd be perfect if I went back. I would do quiet quitting. I would tell the interviewer, "Oh, I'm just gonna quietly quit when you hire me the first day. That's my first day of quiet quitting."
So is that what you're telling a younger version of yourself? Is when you go to work, quit quietly?
Well, if I were to actually open up the space-time continuum and speak to my older self, and if my younger self were to go into work, let's say it was for case management. Hey man, why don't you just steal all their clients and open up your own business and build and do the same billable process that they do? Steal everything they do. That's what I'll tell my younger self. Steal everything. Steal the clients that are already there from them. Still, well, that's a conflict of interest. 41-year-old myself, who cares? You think that? Oh, it's a conflict of interest. Do you think the people in power care about rules? They make rules for dummies like you. See, I already know the deal. Rules are meant to be broken.
So you don't care about karma, because when you open your shop, what happens when the person?
Are we Indians, man?
Just asking, man. I'm just asking.
Karma doesn't exist. That's BS. That's something told to the peasants to keep us poor, to keep us ignorant. Karma.
So you don't believe in sowing and reaping.
I tell my 20-something-year-old self, boy, if you don't take your black ass in the management office right now and go and and take photos of all the information of these clients and use it for your own benefit. Man, mother F this company. That's what I tell my younger self. I tell my younger self that verbatim.
Tyrone, how do you respond to that, man?
I do not disagree. Listen, I was in the corporate world, and I started in the corporate world as a part-time, what they call term, which meant you didn't have the job for any more than 2 years. That was the extent of it. Part-time term telemarketer, okay, in my senior year of college. And now Gimpy is going to chime in here in a minute with the toaster shirt, because this is some 20% stuff. My mother made us read the classics. My mother made me learn Latin. And one of the classics that I read very early on was The Prince by Niccolo Machiavelli. And I had to write my mother book reports, and show that I understand what I was reading. And so when I went into the corporate arena, I applied some of what I had learned from that and other books and talking with other people. I think you guys know, I think I shared at one point, the only full grades of school I ever went to were first grade and 12th grade. And I really didn't have to go to 12th grade because I had all my credits, but I wanted to because my cousins were going to school. I wanted to experience the senior year, but when I got into the corporate world, it was all about money. Okay. I knew that higher positions got you higher money. And if you talk to anyone I worked with, very good friend of mine, like a brother, we always joke about the fact that he worked. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He got off at 5, man. The guy's still there at 6 or 7 o'clock. That guy worked. Okay. I leveraged personality, relationships, and I always had a job that was like, past the second year, I always had a job that was like, the metrics were nebulous. You know,
Yeah.
I can't be held responsible for this legislation that didn't pass. 500 guys in the Congress. Everybody understood that. But hey, you know, he speaks well, he presents well. So you have to be mercenary. Companies definitely are. We had this award, this top award that they would give out annually at Verizon. I forget what the exact name was. Remember one year, this lady, she won the award. 3 months later, they laid her off. Needs of the business. That company is going to do whatever is in its best interest. So you need to do whatever is in your best interest. You need to understand that this is just a mercenary relationship right now. Okay, this isn't a family. You might make some friends along the way. I mean, you know, sure. But to the extent that people can have that idea, and you're going to get much further on who you know in most situations than on what you know or how hard you work.
So, Gimpy, I see you shaking your head, man. What's going through your mind?
Lots of things. So first of all, I've won awards. I've worked hard. I've been disrespected by the companies. I've been fired. I've found new jobs. I've had cooler gigs. I've done wild things. People in this world use shit that I created. You don't even know you use it and that it impacts you every single day, but it does. And I wrote it from scratch. This head. And it all came from you got to do harder, work harder than you're paid for. All this bibble babble these guys are talking about, it's all true. Like, I can't knock them. They're telling the absolute truth to you. All of you at home. Know this. Everything they said is absolutely true. The thing they're leaving out is there's always tomorrow for you. It's the man next to me over here. To his defense, he made his tomorrow that he's in charge. So all those rules no longer apply to him. He is the management that everyone hates. Just saying. The man below me, same fucking thing. he gave up working with 9 to 5s, having a real job, doing any of that, and he went out on his own and he does his own thing in many different ways and is very successful in his own right. Again, he rewrote the rules for himself for the rest of us, right? Festivus for the rest of us, like you evoke Costanza down there. It doesn't work that way. There's always tomorrow. So yes, you can quietly quit, but you'll never get a job again. Because I'm a guy who hires people, and I will know if you quietly quit your last job. So when they finally kick you out the door, you will never get hired again, because people like me who worked hard to get where they are will never, ever hire you. The reason why you don't quietly quit and buy into that bimbo talking is because she makes a living telling you bullshit and you click on her screen. She has nothing to do with what you do in corporate. She quit her job. She pulled the CT. She's in charge of her own life. You're not. You rely on the courtesy of another person. You know what also helps? I worked hard at a job that totally didn't appreciate me. But because my direct superior was the CFO of the company at the time, he saw what I did. And no, I didn't make any money for the company, but I prevented it losing money by doing my job effectively. And when other people above me left, abandoned ship, and tried to do whatever they could to loudly sabotage the employment, I stepped in, filled the gap, not for a penny more. I worked harder and exactly how the book tells you to, for more than you're getting paid. And then 5 years later, when I needed a job, but I called for a reference, the same guy, the CFO, now a more powerful man owning his own company, said, no, I won't give you a reference. And when I said why, he said, because I will give you a job. He didn't have an opening for me. He created one in his company. He said, I need this person because of what they bring to the table, not because I have a job for them to fill. Every day since, they have invented work for me to do because I am an effective employee. And you know what? The trick is you can't let it be the company that you're waiting for to pay you. It's you have to have a plan. For me, I spent 15 years enacting it. And my plan is I'm going to be a work from home IT employee who has all the benefits of management and none of the headaches of being in an office. I go to the office 1 day a week because I choose to. I run the entire division of my company, and they bring me and they trot me around to show to customers when they need someone's face to say, don't worry, you're in good hands. And none of it's for them. It's so that I can sit here and take my meetings on my deck in the sun, lift weights during my morning stand-up, and there are running jokes about how I'll hit the gym while everyone else has to work. And at the end of the day, they'll pay me 6+ figures to do what I do. But it's not about them. It's about me. It's about what I wanted and where I wanted to be today, 15 years ago. These men, when they give you this advice, sorry, whatever, I can't do the reverse.
Well, I wasn't. I was.
Hold on, Tyrone.
I'm pointing out that these men are all successes because they figured out the scam. The scam is either you're in it for yourself or you work fucking harder than you want to. It's just either or. You don't have a choice. You're either in it for yourself or you're working harder than you want to. Those are your two choices, because quiet quitters all end up homeless and poor, people. None of those people have 6 figures in the account. All those influencers, they are not quiet quitters. Their asses are making content 97 hours in a 24-hour day. So your ass is seeing them in your algorithm. So please, people, don't buy into the bullshit. Just remember, go work hard. Work harder than they pay you for, because people remember who you are, they remember what you do, and they remember the value you bring. Or become your own value like the other gentleman and beat the system.
And I just want to say, now what I was doing was relaying my experience.
You were telling the truth.
No, I'm
That's
just
how I started in. You were absolutely
I got you.
Corporations don't give a fuck about you. No one's gonna sit there at an institutional level and say, oh, Chad, you gave me 35 years of hard work. But you know what? In order to know the people, you made a very good statement. It's not about what you do. It's about who you know. The who you know comes from what the fuck you do, man. Those who you know, all you did a favor for. Guy knocked on my door this morning, neighborhood guy. He fixed this shit. He's one of the maintenance guys. Knocked on my door this week, middle day. My phone's broken. Just hands it to me. It doesn't work. Tells me what's there, right? Here, it's back, right? There's nothing actually broken with it, right? But it's why? Because when I need my shit fixed, $0, folks. Thousands of dollars of repairs to my house, $0. Because when he knocks on the door and he needs his fucking phone fixed, I sit there and press some buttons for him.
Let me say this too. Let me say this real quick. In every strata of society, most of us, the vast majority of human beings, are going to start at a level where they have to take some shit. I don't care what you're doing. You can be running your own business, or you can start out, at the bottom rung of the corporate ladder. You could be in the military. You could be on a sports team. Okay. So I think a lot of the current generation, the young, the what is it, Generation Z and the millennials, one thing that they, in my experience, have trouble with is understanding that, hey, look, this is a new environment. You ain't shit, all right, until you get in here and prove that you got the chops to deliver some value. And until you can do that, man, fuck you, basically.
So you guys have gone deep into the conversation already, which is pretty cool. The reason you had something to say, man.
That's what happens when you have too many smart people in a room.
I know.
No, but to answer your question earlier,
What's up,
you
Gazelle?
said, why don't you come in as a gray rock and only be compliant to what to? Because when you originally get there, the time that you're there, what you're basically doing is learning the job. After you and you have to pretty much.
Well, young people always think they already know, man.
I get that. Well, I don't know. Okay. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's the people that you're around. But my point is,
Man, you got
after
kids,
that,
dude.
though, yes, and the people that hang around my kids are smart kids because I don't put them around stupid people. So, like, my point is that, however, after that, you eventually start to see things that you can do better. You eventually start to look at things and go, oh, okay, I can make this better. That starts to turn into the working smart aspect of it, which was put in the chat right here. But then you get to a point in which you start working smart, hard, and then it becomes really the people, again, who are supposed to see you do see you. It isn't about anybody else. Instead, and Gimpy's right. Like I'm in the office 5 days a week. I'm there. I'm in the office all the time. And it's like, yeah, when you get to that level, yeah, it's a whole bunch of stupidity that's in there. But the fact that you're there means that there are people who are above you who are there that'll be like, you know what? Okay, everything's falling apart, but this guy seems to not care. This guy seems to get it right. This guy seems to just want to push through no matter what. And what happens is the division you're in or the department that you're over, anything like that, starts to stick out above the people that are around you, and they notice that. The people who are supposed to notice that. And because of that, years later, you working hard and the people get you to places like where we're at. It really is about first what you do, then who you know.
So I hear what you guys are saying, but I want to kind of synthesize this because I think there's one idea of creating, of working hard. Then there's another idea of creating value. But I think in between there's the idea of having to have a plan, right? Because if you're just going to work and you're like, I have this job, and don't have any direction, quiet quit. You're nothing more than a drone. But if you are someone that, as Gimpy was alluding to, that is taking what you learn, taking the skills, learning and getting different pieces, doing more than asked for, you're taking that and, that skill set, those values, those traits, that reputation, no one else can take that from you. And that precedes you. Right. So I think, at least that's what I'm hearing being synthesized. But before we got into too much, man, I wanted to, show what, man, there was some funny stuff going on this week. But are you guys familiar with the Yo Show?
I'm not.
Nope.
The Yo Show? You've seen him, man. So this guy, he goes around just kind of asking kids or asking people if they can read. I'm going to play this real quick. Let me make sure. Can y'all hear it?
Science change. Wait, what the? Sound it out. Come on.
I is showing us interruption, discriminate, underwaving, perseverance throughout
terrible.
the Aquarius. Yeah, I'm on this hoe looking dumb than the hoe.
Read the index card. The continuous researcher, Mr. Costley, I don't know that word, bro. And allow the unprecedented findings. Read the index card.
But it say the restaurant execute consent. That nigga got some shit on there. What that word is?
Tell me.
I ain't gonna lie to see you, bitch. That hoe long in them bitch. I don't even know that hoe. Better put that board, attracted, discriminating, critics.
Read the index card.
The philosophical.
I got the white boys too.
Generated considerable discourage among the scholars.
You just making shit up?
Oh no. It's just the light.
Read the index card.
The chutney's not one that you see often, though.
No, the dichotomy.
Yeah, that's
Dichotomy?
You believe in the dichotomy of life.
Are you serious?
I'm sorry, like that they can't read any of these words. Unwavering perseverance throughout.
Dichotomy. Who says dichotomy?
Yeah, dichotomy. There was some like, dude, this was terrifying.
But who
These
says
people will take care of
dichotomy?
us when we're old. Like that's the thing that scares me the most.
Hold on, you guys are saying dichotomy though.
No. It's dichotomy. We're saying they said.
Oh, okay, I got it. I'm just making sure.
Are you kidding me that I don't know how to say dichotomy? Am I gonna have to black off you, sir?
No, but Reason. Hold on. The way I heard it, because Reason said dichotomy was. That's not a common one though.
No, I said they said dichotomy. I said that would be like something that's not, no one would say that.
Yeah, man, we might have to roll the tape back on that one, bro, because you was like,
I don't know that if you don't understand what sarcasm is, that I'm sitting here saying.
You know what I think
I thought you were picking on Reason. I thought you were going at Reason because he was saying, well, to be fair, dichotomy is not really that common.
Oh wow, because Gazelle said dichotomy on purpose. Dude, that makes that. I can't, man.
Hey, look, this also proves that you can put in just 1% more effort and be a king. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm gonna show you that 1% effort right now.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm gonna show you that 1% effort.
It goes.
Why would you do that?
Gunshot wound of the head. A. The injury, proliferation of the left internal carrot.
See, I know this word.
Subra. Now I'm looking at this word because I know. So it's not subdural artery, but it's
1% better.
Yeah. He's a multi-millionaire. Yeah.
He knows about the dichotomy of life. Ben Crump knows about the dichotomy of life, folks.
Man, you can't even blame the kids anymore. This is their civil rights leader.
Right.
The standard bearer for Black excellence and defender of dark skin rights.
Why
there's a clip of Al Sharpton reading the teleprompter. Al Sharpton can't read.
That's pathetic.
Al Sharpton can't read. There was a clip of him reading the teleprompter, and I mean it's like a 5-minute clip of him not being able to read, but the word touche comes up on the teleprompter, and he says
touchy.
Touchy. And serious, dead serious too. It never clicked in his mind that this didn't make sense. Just confident ignorance, man.
What do you mean? It's not even that, dude. He's old, and you're just the big.
The Thai military. He was talking about the military of Thailand.
No.
Thai military.
You're just mean. You're an ageist, and you hate old people, especially black old people.
I hate stupid people.
I'm just saying.
I hate stupid.
So you're an ageist, because there's nothing wrong with Al Sharpton reading the teleprompter completely wrong and never making
I'm an
passing words
intellectualist.
correctly.
I'm an intellectualist. I hate stupid people.
Then you must hate 80% of the planet every morning when you wake up.
Hey.
That's got to be painful.
You know, life is tough, but imagine how tough it would be if you were stupid.
I don't know. Stupid people don't even realize they're stupid. Have you looked around lately?
Not in the beginning, but as life goes on, stupidity compounds.
We had a corpse run this nation for 4 years.
All right, guys. Make sure you hit that like button, share, and subscribe. You know, I think Ben Crump shows that it's possible to get to do more than what you're paid for and get ahead. Huh?
Hooked on Phonics worked for Ben.
Man, don't. I don't think he went with Hooked on Phonics, man. Hooked on Phonics works according to those in Mississippi.
I'm sure it does.
I don't know what you called Ben Crump hooked on. And you know, this guy signed on to the lawsuit with me against Baltimore City Education.
Is that so?
He was.
Maybe he was trying to learn how to read, man. Maybe he wanted the schools to do better.
Or maybe he was just mad at the school system that never taught him how to read.
Yeah.
Well, it could be. Could be. And him and Ben Carson have a book called Crisis in the Classroom.
Yeah, we know who wrote the book.
Right.
Clear, we know who wrote the book. Because you know what's funny? Before I stopped for Tyrone to speak, I was going to drop it because you said Ben Crump is the civil rights icon or whatever. And I was like, why? Was Ben Carson slumming that day? That's what I wanted to say. But then you bring up the book. So we know who wrote the book since only one of the two people can read.
Well, granted, Armstrong Williams is in there too. So Armstrong Williams actually can write, even though he sounds similar too.
He does.
Yeah.
No, he's like a grade up. It's like a grade up from Crump.
Yeah. But those are my guys, man. Don't leave them alone. All right, guys, let's go ahead and because I want to talk to Tyrone real quick because one of the ideas this week about Napoleon Hill is that you must do more than what you're paid for. So sounds like there may be some disagreement with that concept, but we're going to explore it a little bit more. Reason, just let's do about 7 minutes today, man. And because we're going to keep it classy. All right, guys. So let's welcome to the stage, Mr. Tyrone Keys. All right. So, of course, doing more than paid for. Is Napoleon Hill's principle still true in today's economy? Like, what do you say to that?
Yeah, from a situational standpoint, if you sit down and you develop a plan as to how you're going to move forward with an endeavor, and let's just say it is in the corporate arena, then if it takes you getting noticed by a certain person, then okay. Now, I'm not suggesting that because, look, I was the overtime king. Yeah, I'll work for you, but you're going to pay me, okay? Right. So early in my career, when I was a bargain for employee, I worked overtime like crazy. I worked holidays. I got paid for it, even when I was promoted and we would occasionally Verizon would go out on strike. That meant as a management employee, you got paid time and a half your management salary. Right. So I was working 16-hour days, no problem. Okay. I'm all about the money. Now,
but you had a plan with that though, right? What was the plan?
Well, my plan initially, my plan when I came in with the telemarketer job was not to stay at Verizon. It was just a job in college, but opportunities kept presenting themselves. And I knew at least I suspected when I was being kind of tested by higher ups. So this one guy, Paul Faber, great guy. I hope Paul's still out there somewhere. He's a great guy who helped me out, but he tested me one day. Okay. I'm working in what's called the database integrity group at the time. Not making much money at all. I'm a low craft employee at the bottom of the pay scale. Whatever, I'm working. So he comes to me one Friday, and he knew that I had some computer literacy.
Okay.
This was 1994.
You haven't gone much further than that since then, though, right?
Right. This is 94. So he comes to me and he says, "Hey, look, you know a little bit about computers. Would you mind loading this program onto this computer?" I said, "Sure." He said, "Well, you got to go get the program. It's down in Silver Spring. Now we're in Baltimore. Okay." I never asked about overtime. I knew that if this cat came down from the 14th floor to talk to me, there could be some leverage here. Okay. So it's Friday evening. I drove to Silver Spring, got the program from the guy, came back up. Man, this thing gave me hell until Saturday night. I slept at 320 St. Paul the entire weekend trying to load this thing. Sunday evening, it happens. It's working. And I leave, come back the next morning, and he comes downstairs and I say, "Hey, Paul, it's in," and blah, blah, blah. He's like, "Oh, did you have any trouble with it?" I said, "No, there's no trouble at all." Now, I think that he knew that I had stayed there. I think he knew that. But he said, "Oh, great, cool, thank you." About 3 weeks later, he comes to me and says, "Hey, look, you're still a term employee, but I made a few calls and I got a job for you as a permanent employee. If you want the job, it's in Silver Spring." Boom. Okay. So now I'm a permanent employee.
So did you expect, I guess, a return on that so quickly, or did you do it because you were trying to get that particular position?
I was attempting, my plan at the time was to become a permanent employee.
Okay.
Now, I was kind of agnostic about the job itself. I needed to be permanent because my 2 years was running out. Remember, I told you that term employee only had 2 years.
Right.
So I was almost at the end of the second year. And at this point, I'm out of college. So this job is serious, right?
Yep.
And he made it happen. And it was based on me, letting folk know that I had a certain aptitude, and tested me out, and I did it. Okay, so I worked a weekend with no overtime, and that resulted in a much higher paying job and put me on the path to get the jobs that I got a few years later, which were, I went from a telemarketer to representing the company in DC, half the states, France, Mexico, and the UK. So I think it was worth it.
Gotcha. So do you believe companies have stopped rewarding loyalty like that? Or do you believe you were loyal in that situation, or were you creating value? And is there a difference between those two things?
Yeah, this was not about the company. This was about two guys, okay? And it was transactional. So I could, put this on this computer, and I knew he could do something.
Mm-hmm.
And I figured that he knew that I needed to become permanent. And so I didn't know how that would manifest, what that would look like, but that happened. So this really had nothing to do with Verizon. This had to do with what, this computer thing, he could have done it himself. But he said, this is an opportunity to test this guy out, see if he'll do it. Or if he'll say, "No, it's the weekend. Are you going to pay me overtime?" Stuff like that.
All right.
So that was calculated.
So, because to me, at least what I'm hearing, man, you had a plan, right? I don't know if you were writing it down or had a vision board.
No, I always had a plan. Yeah.
But you were very keen on what your plan was, right? So it's kind of like in the front of your mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
At least what I'm hearing. And
no, it's true.
You weren't exactly clear on what the opportunity might have been, but there was an opportunity that came. And I guess maybe what I'm asking now too is what made you take advantage of that particular opportunity? Was it his position, his title? Did you know him prior? What made you take advantage of that opportunity versus maybe something else?
He was a good guy, but again, I'm leveraging relationships. So I'm trying to build these relationships, and I don't know what's going to happen with these relationships when I, start cultivating them. Hell, I sat down on WBAL one morning 11 years ago with Ed Hale. And 7 months ago, he asked me to be his lieutenant governor candidate with him. You never know, right? And the antithesis of that, I told this guy, Obi Wara Egbuna, I hope you're listening, Obi, because he was one of the managers in the telemarketing thing, okay? And I had taken the management test early. You had to take a bunch of tests to be for the first qualification of any job you had in Verizon at that time. And I heard him. I had talked to a friend of mine, and I was telling her, "Yeah, I took all these tests, so I want to, eventually go into management." Now I had a degree, and I heard him tell her, "Oh, he'll never go into management." I saw him years later when I was a lobbyist, and he had been separated from the company, and he was back, and he was trying to he was trying to get a job. Okay. I saw him in the cafeteria at one of the buildings, and I made him feel it, man. I said, I heard what you said about me a long time ago. And so he demonstrated that even you don't know where a relationship is going to go. So why not make them fruitful? Why inject any preconceived notions or animosity into it? So Faber was the positive, Egbuna was the negative.
Gotcha. Makes sense. So last thing, man, like as we're entering in this new economic age, what should young people understand about becoming valuable, especially with layoffs, automation, economic change? What do you recommend?
Well, look, the layoff piece, that has been out there for a long time. Okay. We were told in our young years by people, look, your generation is going to have maybe 5 or 6 jobs in your career. I've had more than that since I got out of college. Okay. That's just the way things are. You got to roll with the punches. Okay. So to folk, and not just young folk, but if you're 50 or older and you're still in corporate America, you are at risk because you're at top pay. Okay. You may not be adapting to the culture and the technology as swiftly as some college grad will. You got a target on your back if you're 50 or older and still in corporate America. So everybody's got to roll with the punches, man. You got to keep your skill set up. We talk about on this channel, we talk about AI philosophically and we share our views. But at the end of the day, this is a technology you got to embrace. Yep. All right. Or you're going to fall behind. You can say, I don't want to, I'm not comfortable with this new jet aircraft technology. All right, then, well, take a steamship and the guy that took a plane will get the deal. Okay. Because he got there days ago. Yeah. Okay. He on his way back. You halfway there. So just roll with the punches, adapt to the technology, embrace the technology. You can't be afraid of this world.
So there you have it, folks. You can't be afraid of the world. Embrace this technology. Let's give it up for Mr. Tyrone Keys. All right. Next, I got Gimpy, man. Gimpy about to come to the stage. And guys, I got to press all the buttons.
Yes, you do. This is It's Great Media, folks. Just is now an It's Great Media product, and you should let us hit you in the head with a brick so that you buy our merchandise.
So speaking of which, let's go ahead and hold on. Do I have it? Yeah, let's go ahead and bring it up here. Let me bring it up here. Gotta play our classic.
When they're interacting with you,
say again.
Shouldn't people treat you the best they can when they're interacting with you?
Shouldn't they? Should they?
Yeah.
in order to have a free and open
Mike
society,
is
you
terrible.
do think that there's an obligation on those people to treat you as well as you're treating them.
An obligation? Absolutely not.
So they're allowed to just and kick you and hit you with a brick.
They could do that if they want to, and that's what they'll suffer the consequences of that.
I can't
Suffer the consequences of
dude,
that.
I lose. I take the loss. After hearing that, you will accept getting hit in the
Oh,
head.
no. I didn't say I'd accept it at all. You can hear me to say you suffered the consequences of that.
I cannot double down nearly as hard as
You suffer the consequences of it. You can do whatever you want to do. There are consequences. Again?
Does your paycheck cover getting hit in the head with a brick?
Yes. Yes, it actually does. Yes, it does.
Oh my God! That never is that funny.
Yes, as a matter of fact,
it's not funny. Does your paycheck people treat
use that verbiage?
There we go. That's why you gotta get the hit in the head with the brick. Does your insurance cover this? Tyrone, do you have insurance coverage for that?
You sell brick coverage?
Brick
for
coverage.
your agency? I feel like Chad wants to sign up.
Health, wealth, and Bricklink.
I mean, dude, do you have gazelle coverage?
Right. We're gazelles. I'm sorry, man. All right, Gippy, man, you up, bro? Hold on, let me get you up on.
Yeah, I don't mean to pick on Chad, but he called himself a gazelle, dude. Like, I can't let that slide, man. It's too easy. That was too easy.
Man, you guys are funny, man. All right, let's welcome to the stage, Mr. Gimpy. Know Your Worth Robbins. All right. G Money, man, how you doing, brother? Now, Gimpy, you always,
All is well.
All is well. There we go. You always provide, like, I don't know how you are able to do it, man, but you always see right through things. You're able to synthesize information. Like, you're brilliant.
I don't
at
think
that,
you
man.
know what that word means, sir. But
What?
we'll keep synthesizing.
What? Synthesize?
Copy. I'm able to copy information. When you synthesize, you replicate.
No, synthesize. You're taking pieces from different places and combining them, and you're understanding the similarities, the patterns. You're finding them out, and you're able to see things differently.
I'm just
don't question my grasp on the English language, dude. I'm black.
You get the dichotomy.
The dichotomy. But Gimpy, man.
Your life, man.
But Gimpy, all right. So
Okay.
I want to ask you this, man. And the reason I brought that up is because is there a difference between going above and beyond and allowing people to take advantage of you? How do you make that distinction?
You never know, dude. That's the thing, man. You're either working hard because you want to work hard, or you're not. If you're worried about who's taking advantage of you, half the time you don't know. Half the time it's your friends, you're people who you thought were your enemies turned out to be your biggest supporters. And like, especially if you're talking in the sake of that quiet quitting nonsense, you know, the corporate America bullshit. Dude, you have no idea who's saying what about you behind. People you think you're biggest allies are your worst enemies sabotaging you, and people who you think don't give a shit about you turn out to be people who stick their neck out for you, and you don't know it till long after that opportunity has come and gone, man. I think our attitudes in 2026 are wrong. I think we look at individualism as the wrong way. No is the greatest expression of freedom. Saying the word no, denying yourself, restriction. Standard, discernment, whatever you want to call it.
So how does someone know when to draw that line? How does someone know when to say no?
Dude, you don't until it's there. It's circumstantial. It's like, I didn't know my guy was going to take advantage of me. You got to be smart enough to read the flags. Like, that's what I'm saying. You're either working hard because you want to be the best that you can be, and that's what's important to you, or you're caught up with that bullshit that you're talking about. Yes, you got to deal with it as it happens. I'm not dismissing it. But I'm saying in terms of like the sake of the chapter, right? Working for more than you're getting paid. You should do that. automatically at every job on purpose because it's your name on your work. Like you have no idea, dude. I have the least amount of letters, degrees, or whatever humanly possible to do what I do. In fact, I'm underqualified in that sense if you take it by paper, right? I didn't do the certain schoolings or whatever that my counterparts do. And yeah, it restricts me, but you know what? I don't have that debt and I might earn less than counterparts who have it, but I still am in the same room and most of them have to answer to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, so I get it. There's a give and take on everything, but you don't know you're going to get taken advantage of till you got taken advantage of, unless you're good at playing the game and you see it coming. That has nothing to do with the work you're putting out. You put out the work because that's the work that represents you. It's your name on that shit. People will remember you. Dude, I went to high school with a kid, and in high school, I did some stuff to rally the administration for turning intramurals into actual inter-school teams where we didn't have teams, right? Like basketball, whatever, right? At the school I went to. And I helped the student body get 25 years later, this kid, when he gets some award for being the coach now for the championship team at the right, like some parent now, he's some parent in the school and whatever with his kids, and he coaches them to a championship. He wins an award. He talks about me and the impact I had on his life because what I did, honestly, to stick it to the principal. I didn't give a fuck about what I was honestly doing. I was looking to cause a headache for the principal, and this was the best way to do it. And that was my motivation behind the whole thing because I was motivated to give them the biggest headache possible and gain the best gain for my student, you know, like my people, the students, right?
So
like
you had a plan.
You kid having fun. 25 years later, some dude's quoting it in a acceptance speech at some, I don't know. For him, it was probably a very big deal, the award. For me, I didn't even know it existed till he comes, as someone I didn't talk to since high school, finds me to tell me about it. That's how big impactful it was.
Now, was there something you learned growing up though that like gave you that drive to always?
Yeah, my old man, dude. I told you earlier, my old man. You measure life by one thing. I don't care that you got a C and it's the highest grade in the class. Everyone else doesn't matter. It's you, and a C isn't going to come home. Dude, that's it. That's how you run your life, by that one simple rule. It doesn't matter what everybody else is fucking doing, what everybody else is getting paid. It's what you do, what you say, who you are, and when you have to go to the next place and use your name, who are you going to speak? Dude, that's it. You are a man, and your man is your word. And the only way your word is worth shit is that your actions match what you say. And if your actions don't match it, go the fuck home, man. It's over. Because look around you, people. Everything you hate about this world is that the actions don't match the words. When it comes down to it, everything you fucking hate, every one of you at home, whatever you hate it because the actions don't match the word. That's it.
So I guess why aren't I guess younger people, why do we have terms like quiet quitting?
Parents like their parents made friends. They didn't beat parents. They didn't beat the fuck out of their kids. They were too interested in acknowledging emotional content and all the shit that doesn't matter. I hate to break it to you. What did diagnosing every kid with ADD and autism do? They're all fucking dumber now, and none of them can read. Yet they all had ADD and autism undiagnosed back then, according to the people now, and yet they all could read and do math. Yeah. So I'm sorry, man. Didn't help. Nothing in the 40 years since I'm alive. I have 2 degrees in psychology. I have a degree in fucking business. I have all sorts of stupid letters and tests and whatever, and it's still not enough to compete with my counterparts, folks. And I'm still underqualified on paper compared to what other people do and what they bring to the fucking table. And none of it mattered. You know why? Because everybody's fucking dumber. And we all know it. I'm not telling you something you don't. You all look around. We all feel the same way. People say they're one thing, but their actions say another. And the whole world is like that. And if you think that it's going to change because you cry about it, it's not. It's going to change because you work harder than you get paid for, because you want what you believe to represent you. It's not a matter of who's paying you, what the work is. I have a dead-end job. If everyone had tried to achieve to their personal greatest potential because it mattered to them individually, then none of what we're talking about matters. This whole conversation is irrelevant because I do it because I want to, because that's the best possible version of me, and that's what I want to bring to the world, because that will reap me the highest benefit of result. Because I'm going to lose no matter what. I may as well lose at high expectation instead of low expectation.
Yeah,
Those losses are much more poignant, man.
I mean, but it's I don't know. To me, it sounds like I'm not trying to be like too weird here, but you're working to achieve your own purpose, whatever that might be. Whereas, when you have people talking about, quiet quitting, or I'm just doing barely what I'm doing, it's like they are drones. They are
No,
AI.
they're not. They don't understand. No, they don't. They've been made to believe that the reward comes from the business. They've been made to believe that their life is transactional. That if you do A, you get B. And it's not true. If you do A, you may never see a reward. A is the reward. You know what participation trophies fucked up? Participation. You know why it fucked up? You know why it fucked up participation? Because it changed what participation actually means. The trophy for participating is the frame of reference point you get in your brain for the rest of your life that you did that. Like, for example, until I did this thing where I'm building a piece of software from scratch in a field I never did that before, I don't know what it's like. I don't know what the challenges are. But then I did it. Whether I was successful or I did a good job at it or whatever, I know things. So the next time I have to do it, I have a frame of reference. That's what participation's trophy was. Not some piece of plastic that made you feel better for showing up. So now you have a whole series of adults who think they need to feel better for showing up. It is not their fault. It is you guys, the parents, who raised these namby-pamby little bitches to think that showing up is all they need to do to win.
Well, there you have it, guys. Let's give it up for Mr. Darth Gippy. Sharing some wisdom there, man. All right. Let's keep it rolling, guys. Because you guys talked a lot at the beginning. It's all good. Let's go ahead and get CT, man. I want to talk a little bit about exploitation and avoiding being exploited, even though CT wants to exploit you. All right. So, guys, let's give it up for Mr. CT. What's up, bro?
What's going on, man?
How you feeling?
I'm awesome, man. How about yourself, buddy?
Man, I'm good. I'm good. Happy to be here. And I believe in you, brother.
I believe in you, too.
Yeah, man. So, real quick, man, is telling people to do more than they are paid for just a way of getting free labor?
Yep.
Explain.
Without a doubt.
Tell me more. Why is that?
All that good work doesn't mean anything, man. Going above and beyond doesn't mean anything. Volunteering your services doesn't mean anything. It just opens up the gates for people to use you. And they will get that free labor from you while you are, I'll do the extra for you, boss. That's 2 or 3 hours of free labor, man. It's a waste of time. Trust me, if I have all types of stories about volunteering my services, being exploited, and being pretty much undermined and thrown under the bus the moment somebody doesn't like you or the moment you're not useful anymore. So yeah, man, it is free.
What's the biggest example that comes to mind of you being exploited?
I had a raggedy ass fraternity brother, older guy, had a charter school, and the summer before the kids came to the school was in a distressed condition.
Mm-hmm.
And, me being the person that I am, having a sense of Black pride, having a sense of community, I came to the school. I was painting. I was moving desks from one building to the next cockroach infested building where the desks were at, moving it into the other building, just pretty much giving a lot of my time and labor for free. School starts. There's a situation with a little dumb little Black boy who I thought should not have been in the school. And I recommended that the kid, hey, why don't we just, get the kid out of this classroom? My fraternity brother didn't like what I said. He said I should always have the back of a little Black boy. And from that moment, did everything to undermine me. And eventually I was removed from the school. Not removed in a forceful way, but I was not asked. I was asked. I was fired. I was fired.
Yeah.
And so there was many instances like this, man, where I'm helping people out. I'm giving them free labor, and it doesn't mean anything at the end of the day, bro. So go ahead.
So I guess when you were there though, did you have like a goal in life you were trying to hit? You were just trying to work, make some money.
My goal in life was to inspire. My goal in life was to be a part or provide for or be a part or do community service for blacks, you know. And it was that that was one of the biggest illusions that I had, where I didn't understand that there is no black community, and there is no working hard for blacks, and there is really no working hard, period. And that was one of the biggest lessons for me in terms of exploitation, the exploiter, the one being exploited, because the exploiter knows that it's all bullshit, but they can capitalize off of your illusion that there's some grand goal here that doesn't really exist. The kids are going to be stupid and illiterate. The kids ain't going to really be nothing, to be completely honest with you. This school ain't no pipeline to anything. This isn't a Horace Mann or Exeter. This school ain't no pipeline to no goddamn elite status in life. This is a stupid inner city black school.
So how do you know you didn't inspire somebody though?
It didn't inspire nobody, man.
How do you know that? How do you know
because
that?
It doesn't because inspiration comes from tangibles. The only way you can inspire these kids in that situation, you build an institution for their parents, you build an institution for them kids, you put money in their pockets. That's it. They ain't no such thing as inspiration, man. That's bullshit. So at least that's bullshit for me. Like anybody can believe whatever they want to believe, but one of the reasons why I go in so hard, especially on blacks, is because of situations like that. And so I thought the same thing you did. Oh, I'm gonna go here and inspire these kids. Doesn't work, bro. Doesn't work.
So let me ask you this different question.
Yeah.
What makes you appreciate those moments?
You learn the horrors of the world with those moments. You learn that you learn that the world is not a goddamn episode of the Cosby Show, and it was those experiences that made me the man that I am today, man. Because when you grow up, you have a fantastical view of the world. Obviously a lot of it is through conditioning with media. See, when you're at home, I had great parents. You think everybody else is like your little great parents. You think everybody else is like your little great little friends. But the world ain't like that. The world ain't like that. So you think you're part of these organizations, these institutions that have your back. They don't. Even in my own fraternity. I have fraternity brothers who called into my show, man. You shouldn't be doing this, man. You should keep it. Nah, man. I'll expose it all. I'll expose it all because it's a lie. It's a huge lie. It's a huge lie. Go ahead, buddy. Go ahead, buddy.
No, I mean, so do you find that there's been any value though in what you've learned? Like
the only value is this, man. The only value is this: stealing. There's a great movie from the 90s called Higher Learning. You ever watched it?
No, I haven't watched that one yet.
In the movie, Lawrence Fishburne's character, Professor White, he asks Ice Cube's character, Fudge, what you here for school for? Most people will say, I'm here to get a degree. And Fudge says, I'm here to steal. And he said, I'm here to steal all the information. So that's what I've learned with all those experiences. I'm here to steal. I'll go into a company business. I'll tell somebody right now, man, you better take your ass somewhere and go steal some. You better steal everything in that business, man. Not the tangible. Not the physical stuff, but I'm talking about how did this business become what it is right now? Steal it. If you work at Deloitte, if you work at one of the big four companies, you know how to gain clients. Steal it. Steal those clients. Make your own business. That's the inspiration. Steal information. Go ahead. Go ahead, buddy.
So, do you ever expect that same behavior to come back on you?
Hell yeah. We all are animals. It's very plausible. The same thing could happen to me. That's why you have to have an iron fist. You have to do it. You have to have an iron fist because you goddamn right. There's somebody like that out there thinking the same way that I think. There might be a million people thinking like that. There might be people thinking like that against me. You damn right. This about to it could happen. So you gotta be smart. You have to maneuver through life like that. It's what it is, pal.
So is that your advice for the 28-year-olds now?
I tell a 28-year-old in a heartbeat, you got a degree, you work, let's say they work for KPMG. You work for KPMG, you have access to the computer, steal all the clients, steal all the paperwork, steal all the information, and you start the exact same business and do the exact same thing that they're doing. And I would even argue steal some of their clients. All that information you got, you be a goddamn idiot to work at that job 20 damn hours a day. And oh, hell nah, man, you better quit. You better go drive Uber. You better steal all that information, drive Uber, and you do the same thing. Make phone call at the phone call at the phone call at the phone call at the phone call. You goddamn right.
Well, there you have it.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I say something? It's 3 rules of winning, Giovanni. Bro, let me tell you something. The world is a mess, Giovanni. You got to fight back. You have to have tough skin. You have to attack. Giovanni, if somebody comes after you with a knife, you got to shoot them back with a bazooka. Giovanni, what is truth, right? You know what truth is, Giovanni? The truth is what I say is truth. What you say is truth. You got to deny everything and admit nothing. You know what's true, Giovanni? What I say is true. The most important thing, Giovanni, is no matter how fucked you are, you never, ever, ever admit defeat, Giovanni. You got to win. You got to win. You got to tell these young motherfuckers, fuck these companies, fuck these institutions. You gotta fuck them because they're gonna fuck you. They're gonna fuck you. So the hell yeah, that's what I tell these young kids. I'll tell a 28-year-old that in a heartbeat. Hell yeah. Steal it.
Sage advice from
goddamn right. I tell them that. Working hard. You out of your damn mind working hard. I tell if I had a duck, bro. Ooh, I'm not anybody.
So let me ask CT real quick. Last thing. Do you work hard?
Hell yeah, I work hard. I work hard for myself. I don't work hard for nobody else. A motherfucker can't tell me what to do. Hey man, it's been like that for over a decade. A motherfucker can't tell me where to be, what to do. Fuck that. Hell no. Shit, hell no. Nah, hell no. Fuck
Definitely
that.
put this clip on your channel. But let's give it up.
Sorry about the cursing. I'm very passionate about this topic, man.
Yeah?
Because man, if I could go back in time, bro, man, I kick my younger self's ass. I came out with DoorDash when I was a kid. It was my mom who has a 9-to-5 mindset. Oh, you shouldn't be going around asking people. See, had I stuck with what the fuck I thought, hey man, I'd have had DoorDash. Motherfuckers from 16 to 20 used to beg me for car rides, especially women. Knowing what I know now, I'd have charged each and every last one of them motherfuckers $20, just like Uber and Lyft do. Motherfucking bitches that I used to kick it with got kicked out of their daddy's house, got kicked out of their mammy's house, got kicked out. I'd have had them doing all types of things. You want to stay at my house? Well, you got to give me some head or something. Fuck that shit. You got to exploit people, bro. I'm just going to be fucking honest about it, bro, because everybody else does it. Everybody else is exploiting people. Why do these, bro, I've always wondered, why is it that we let these institutions exploit us, but we don't do it to other people? Fuck that shit. I want to participate in that shit.
I think, I mean, and I've heard it a couple of times.
That was really vulgar about the women thing, but you know, it just is what it is. It's what it is.
Dude,
Views
not
expressed
lying.
on this show.
No
don't women sleep
lies
to the
detected.
don't women women sleep to the top. Women sleep to the top. all the time.
No, folks, no. Like, look, dude, I'm not. Again, I won't argue. CT just admitted he works hard, folks. If you want to be successful, you will have to work for yourself, whatever. But I'm not arguing who you work hard for. But you agree to be successful, one must work hard, whether it's for yourself or someone else. Yes. Is that fair to say? Oh, look at that. Daddy moments on air. Anyhow, look, man.
Yeah.
Dude, while you're busy playing Mr. Father over there, you have a show to run. Settle down.
I know. Yeah, he came in here to dap me up.
Professionalism over there. Child on camera, man. For shame.
Especially after that rant,
Yeah, exactly. Like, what's going on here? Exploitation?
We're from G to NC-17 real quick.
Goddamn right.
That's right.
Goddamn right. Hell yeah. Knowing what I know now, shit.
God, man, make sure you hit that like button.
No lies detected. He's not wrong, man. He is not wrong. If you're going to work hard, then you have to do it, whether it's for yourself directly or you're working for someone else. You got to recognize you're only doing it for you.
And I think that's the big thing. Gimpy, to your point, man, I think that's the biggest thing.
That someone else is going to pay you off because of hard work. No, man. You got to have a plan. You got to fucking, even if you're doing it within someone else's world, man, you got to have a plan. You got to know where you want to be. I am telling you, 17 years ago, man, when I got into IT, when my brother was like, oh, you should go take one of these 7-month classes, because I had lost my job at the school teaching. I was like, okay, let me go do that. And I said to myself, you know what? The only benefit of working in IT is that today it's the job you can work from home. So in like 20 years, it's going to be the best job to work from home at. And I'm going to have that life where I can live my like leisurely work home life and have a real full-time job at the same time. It took me like 14 and a half years to get exactly where I wanted to be. And I'm here, man. I did it in other people's systems. I worked for other people. I worked for the government. I worked for all sorts of things, but I was always in it for myself, worrying about the next paycheck, the next hustle, the next thing. And I worked hard. I didn't get lost in thinking that some award at some I'm just saying this, that some award at some company meant some loyalty or somebody that, trust me, the next time my name's in a barrel, the head of the president of the company is shit talking me, their best employee. It don't matter, man. I was in it for me.
There we go. All right, so let's bring up Voice of Reason. Here we go, guys. Let's bring to the stage Mr. Voice of Reason. Let me get this applause real quick. Vor. Are we going to start calling you Vor Reason? Like,
Reason's fine, man.
Reason?
Yeah, Reason's all good.
How you doing, man?
Not complaining.
So doing more than paid for. This chapter actually started with the idea of love, and in relationships, and that idea of love is it's a more give than what you expect to receive type of relationship. At least I think. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But I want to talk to you in the aspect of fatherhood, because there's a lot of young guys out there might be listening, starting a family. I just want to ask you this: how does doing more than required, shape a man's character?
If a man doesn't work, he doesn't eat. That's pretty much it. You have to, you really have to put yourself out there. It shapes you for who you are to be later in life. As you get older, as a man, a couple of things happen. You become more conservative, and then you come to the realization that what makes you happiest are the people who are around you. And when you get there, also, what happens is you come to the realization also, and this isn't necessarily a bad thing, because happiness is an ebb and flow. Men have a habit, we as men have a habit of putting what would be our happiness above the stuff that surround us. Yeah. And the stuff that surround us is usually the people that we're taking care of. We compromise. We are the ones that, go along with, and we're sitting here like, yeah, because that is what basically has shown up with the aspect of the stoicism that is created from that hard work at a young age. You know what I mean? The more that you work at a young age, it creates, the harder you work, it creates something in you that later in life you end up using that helps bring out the best from you, which affects everyone else around you.
So how have you seen that play out in your own life?
How have I seen that play out in my own life? Well,
Yeah.
quite frankly, that the aspect of that stoicism. I mean, I've come to the realization that, over time, anything that you pretty much try to get quickly ends up being a long-term headache, for real. And when that takes place, the people who play the lottery as opposed to investing, the people who don't who do like different kind of drug injections as opposed to going to the gym, people that like get surgeries as opposed to like eating healthy. It's what happens is the more you work, it actually splits out into different aspects of life. And
But how have you seen this play out specifically for you? Like, give me
delayed
an example.
gratification.
But give me an example.
Delayed. I
Not
just
the
gave you
term.
several.
Yeah,
I
but
just
no,
gave you
give me an
several.
example of how it played, like the story behind something you worked on, you were doing, and what happened.
Okay, sure. So I stopped back in the day when I was younger. I was one of those people that, and I say this to you often. I say the only way that you will absolutely surely, for sure, not win the lottery is if you don't buy a ticket. That doesn't mean it's a 1 out of a billion chance that it'll happen, but that's the only way that for sure it won't happen. So what's happened over time? I started investing. Now I don't have to really I took that delayed gratification aspect because I worked hard and then came to the realization that this is what I want later down the line, and I can't. Chances are it's not going to happen if you do it this way. You have to build up some mental toughness, and that's what working hard and doing things over and over and over again. The essence of a man is doing the things that you don't want to do every single day over a long period of time. It creates character in your in how you see life, in your morality, in all of that good stuff. And then you can look back and you could actually say, okay, this is something I built. I
Yeah.
did not eat a chocolate bar. I ate a meal, and because of that, and 10 hours later, I'm not starving again. You know what I mean?
So as a father, what is it, what is something that you say that, you're not getting, I guess, seeing the result from now? Like you're doing this work, you're doing the activity, but not seeing the fruits of it. Like as a father, what are maybe some of those things, and how do you deal with that?
Quite frankly, I don't know, because I've never seen, even as in being a parent, the aspect of you putting in time and effort and not seeing the results of it. The majority of the time, we are happiest in life as fathers, being that tree and then looking around underneath and seeing all the fruit of that. That's where we are happiest. If, quite frankly, you are putting in the effort and putting in the work as a parent, and you are not seeing the fruits of that, you have to look at self, because your children are a reflection of you. They're half you genetically, and you have to look at you and what you're doing incorrectly to see what corrections you need to make in order for them to be better. Because quite frankly, your children, you are their inner voice. When they go out into the world, you're going to end up being their inner voice, believe it or not. And even
Now,
if it's something
as
they
a father,
disagree
like
with you on.
investing, like as a father, investing in your children, do you feel like you see the fruits of that, or do you feel like you'll see it, or when do you expect to see the results of your parenting, your fatherhood? Like when do
you see it in layers, because you don't see it in the very beginning. And then there's the weird teenage age. There was this TV show in which they were checking out how multitudes of kids up to adults think, and you ask the adults, would you swim with the shark, and they go, absolutely not. You ask the teenagers and they're like, well, is there a cage? That age group of kids, they think kind of weird, but you still have to be consistent over and over and over again, and understand that, you know what, you are not your child's friend, you're their parent. And if you create that relationship well enough, you'll get that respect in that period of time. That's the 12, 13 through 17, and then 18, 19, 20, you're starting to see the results of that. And you know what, you can actually have conversations with them and they go, you know what, wow, I know you used to say this to me when I was younger, but I actually see it now because I'm experiencing it. And then don't get mad at them after the fact. Just understand that in the beginning, you're going to give to them. Later in life, they're going to come to you because they've come to the realization that, holy shit, you know what? Damn, I'm getting married. This guy's been married for 20 plus years. Or how am I going to deal with this aspect of work because he's been in the workforce for this period of time? And how do I deal with this interview? Because I remember my first job, he helped me interview 3 different times and all of that good stuff. And they'll start asking you that stuff. You just have to be patient because you're always going to see them as your child, even when they're an adult. My grandfather, before he passed at 100 years old, was calling my mom at 70 something, you know, why didn't you have your son take you to the doctor? You have a cough. They're always going to be your parent.
So one thing I've been hearing consistently from the other sessions, it's like you have to have a purpose or a plan to be okay with the delayed gratification type thing, right? And the reason I bring that up is because I think especially fathers and men that want to be good men have an inherent purpose when you have kids, right? So it's like you have this baby or this kid, this child, that's my purpose. At least that's how I see it. So it doesn't matter to me what the investment is. It doesn't matter. Like, I just want to be a good parent, a leader, and train my children to be independent, train them to be productive members of society, and train them to be, and quite frankly, how I look at it is everything God wants them to be. What do you say to that?
Oh shoot, realized time. That's 100% correct. I was gonna jump into that aspect of, I don't have a son. I know you do, right? And the difference is, like, no matter what, our mentality is always, we want our children to outdo us. We want, if we have a 2-bedroom house and all that good stuff, if they sit here and they have a 4 or 5 bedroom house working here or working for themselves and doing all that, we're proud because we know that our investment paid off. Our 2 things: we want our child to bury us and us not to bury our children, and we want to see the fruits of all of our labor. That's the happiest we will ever be, even if they fight with us and all of that. And you know what, they end up, the aspect of what we decided to put into them, they rebel against, and all of that good stuff. And we have a society today in which it's weird that children don't talk to parents. You'll say, hey, you know what, we've gone this period of time and we haven't spoken. Parents don't talk to children, but still we could look at that aspect, look at them and say, you know what, they took something from all of the effort that we put into them, and they helped create a better version of themselves out in society, thanks to the seed that we planted as parents.
There you have it. Voice of reason. Now, voice of reason. I actually want you to respond to this, because Chaotic put a text up. He said, if I had a daughter, I'd tell her to use her youth and beauty to get ahead, not waste her time on a broke college sophomore. Your thoughts on that?
Use your put that back up again at the last part. If you had a daughter, you tell her to use your no, not I can't necessarily say that in today's society at all, because we have a group of men in today's society that are the correction to feminism. So that's not really what the case is. Feminism turned women into one thing, and now you telling them to do that is going to get, they're just going to be.
No, he means, I'm sorry.
Hold on, Gimpy.
Thank you. I'm talking like people that don't have children. You know, it's like they're put into one of 2 categories. Okay, they are the ones that are we're going to take you seriously, or they're the ones that, you know what, we're going to see you as someone that is worthy of being some sort of serious material. And you can't do that
Dude,
today
a
because the
24-year-old
men
girl is wasting her, a 20-something anything-year-old girl is wasting her time on a 20-year-old boy. This isn't 1950. This isn't 1930. This isn't 1899. This isn't those days where you can build a future working together to tomorrow. If you're a woman and you're good looking, you better go latch on to some 40-year-old or some late 30-year-old who has a career, who has money, who has stability, because these kids ain't got shit, dude. Look, dude, I'm not even knocking that you want the best for your kid, but
I'm
the
just
best
waiting
for
for you
your
to
kid
finish.
is not some kid their age anymore. It doesn't work anymore. You want your kid to aim higher for people who have like wealth and achievement. You don't want them to start with broke people. They may never get out of being broke anymore, man. It's 2026. Some of these kids have like $300,000 of student debt because they took a basket weaving degree for 9 years.
That's what happens when you don't have proper parenting. You're not going to.
Okay, but that's what happens when you pick a fucking 20-year-old for your kid that you care the best about. If you care the best about them, send them to find the ones who have achieved.
Let me know when you finish.
Give them something. I'm sorry. I let my apology.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So basically what happens still today is the best thing that you can do is grow with somebody at 25 years old. The best way is to grow with somebody, because statistics still show that the women that find the men at the end, those guys are not interested, period, at all. They have a plethora of options they could choose from. And for marriage to work, you grow with somebody. That's how it works. Still
Dude,
today. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Ended failure. I'm sorry. Your same statistics talk about a 60% divorce rate.
We're talking. Yeah, you're talking about an overall divorce rate. How about you look at the divorce rate of the people who actually? How about you look at the divorce rate? How about you look at the divorce rate? How about you look at the divorce rate?
I'm sorry, buddy.
How about you look at the divorce rate? How about you look at the divorce rate of people that actually did it the right way?
If I had a
How about
daughter,
you do that?
I'd rather her pick someone secure who is established than to run out for one of these kids who can't read a grade.
You know what's crazy?
Enough. Can I
this is what you told me a few months back. You asked me specifically, what's the guy's name? Andrew Tate. You asked me specifically. This is bullshit, because now you're flipping what you're saying. We had a long thread back in the day, you and I, and you said, Chad, are you telling me that you would have
cannot get themselves out of starting?
You told me, would you have your daughter get with someone like Andrew Tate? Do you remember that?
Do you
remember that?
Again, you're letting your worst fears fill gaps that you want. Yes, dude, because I didn't say Andrew Tate. I said that your kid in their 20s should not be looking for some broke 20-year-old with them. They should be looking for someone who's established, who wants to make a family. Because in 2026, those 20-year-olds don't want to build. They don't want to do what you're fucking talking about, but those 20-year-olds, dude, you're just gonna read.
That's what happens when. That's what happens when people do not
read. You want to sit here and complain about kids who can't read at grade level?
I'm not complaining about them at all. I don't deal with those kids.
You want to complain
not all
about these kids? You want to talk about this shit? Let's talk for real. You cannot say that your daughter's generation, your kid's generation, can read, write, do arithmetic. You know how much policing you have to do on one of your kids. Okay? You know how much it goes down. Like, I'm not talking your business. I'm not looking to say anything on air. But me and you both know the reality of what it is to being a parent. You've had a very interesting existence as a parent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That being said and done, how would you tell your kid to go with some kid who took a basket weaving leftist degree in some university and calls it an education, who talks about quiet quitting? No, you want her to find better. But there ain't better in her age range, because they're all brainwashed the same fucking way. She needs to look older than her, and not by a year or two, but by some real distance, who have established and built work careers and shown that they're not pieces of shit morons who can't read, can't write, have crazy leftist ideas. Because I'm sorry, some 20-year-old can't prove that to you as a fucking father. And if you're really looking out for your kid, then you're sending her to the 33, 34-year-old dentist like my nephew, who just married himself a 27-year-old girl. Because he established himself and he showed he can make himself that way.
How old is he?
33.
And how old is she?
26,
She's
27 now?
26, 27. Okay.
But
so
again,
what's
that's
the
what I
difference?
said. Hold on, dude. You attacked me when I said
did not
from
attack
20
you all at
You
all.
said 20 something. I said 20 something should be looking for older. That's my statement. Is that once you're in your 20s, don't look for a 20-year-old male anymore. They're useless. You got to start at 30 and up. Period.
You have to start with that other person's family. That's where you start.
30 and up.
Because the
Before
apple
you
doesn't
even
fall
look at
far
the
from the
family.
tree. The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. And I was in a very interesting place last weekend, and I saw some very interesting things that have nothing to do with the area that we're at. You have to actually meet these people. There's a reason that my daughter's like, hey, if you can get past my dad, you can talk to me. Because it's our job as parents to protect them from themselves. If you don't see that, I have no clue I don't know what to tell you.
Again,
my whole thing is
protect them from themselves. You
my
gotta
whole
tell
thing
them
is
to aim for 30 plus.
You have to tell them.
Daughter
You
should
have
be
to tell
looking for
them.
some 20 something. I'm sorry. Am I wrong, CT? Help me out here. CT.
Why would you ask CT?
Because he's someone who shares the same side of
That's
the
my
argument.
point. It's an echo chamber. So CT.
No, it's not, dude. These are other people. Okay, Giovanni, what do you have to say as the other parent on the panel? How do you feel about what I have to say? That no 20-year-old male is worth their weight for your 20-year-old something daughter. There is none. They have to start at 30 up. In 2026, none of those people are worth it.
Honestly, man, I just say, you're not getting married till you're 30 anyway. So,
okay, so you agree. So you fucking agree. So what is this bullshit, man? Don't get me on me, Chad. It's not my fault.
So
they
you have
can't
one
read,
person
they
agree
can't
with
write,
you, and
and they
that's how
have
it
no
works.
respect
Okay,
for the real world.
It is what it is, man.
So CT's been throwing the making.
Well, I was really talking to people. No, I was really talking to people in the chat, but it's more or less about the whole. Bro, let's be honest. Women don't have to work hard. If they're super hot, they're young. You're working for a company. Play the game. Sleep with your boss. Try to get a promotion. If you're not promoted, try to sue for sexual harassment. Play the game, man. I like, to be honest with you, bro. Like I'm all for it at this point. I play the game. Play the game, man. Like there ain't no such thing as working hard, man, anymore, man. To be honest with you, if I had a daughter, bro, to be honest, going back to that dental office shit that you said, Gippy, I tell my daughter, hey, man, you should try to sleep with the guy who owned the dental office. Fuck that shit. Try to marry him, and hell yeah, why not, man? Why not have a cheat code? Fuck that shit. Fuck it. That's what I'd do if I had a daughter and I didn't build shit and I didn't have nothing for her to work and I didn't build a business where she could work at and she ain't got no trust fund. You know, the owner of that you should try to get around that guy. Where does he go to try to? You just happen to be at the restaurant that day. You happen to be at the golf cart. I've known girls who've done that. I've known girls who knew the schedule of medical doctors, and I don't want to give too much information, but knew the schedules of medical doctors that ended up being with them. I've known multiple females like that. They just happen to be at his church. They just happen to be at the golf course. They just happen to be at the bar when they're there because they know his schedule. Man, it's a shortcut to life, man. Knowing what I know now, man, I'd have told my sister this. She out here working a job. Like, you stupid. You damn near 40. You still working a job? It's a little. I'd have told my own sister, you should be. You should have sold your body when you were younger and got to the top. You fucking for free any fucking way. Fuck that shit, man.
Tyrone, how do you respond, man?
It's a cheat code in life. Go ahead, guys. I'm on one today. I'm sorry about that.
We see. Tyrone, how do you respond, man?
Sorry about that. I was on mute. Yeah, look how it's worked out for all of these women who did do that when they were younger and now have absolutely nothing. Look at Hollywood, okay? And CT, I'm actually disagreeing with you here. I think you believe I'm agreeing with you, but look at Hollywood, a perfect example, right? You had a whole bunch of women run around, slept with Bill Cosby, took the pills in his, wife's bedroom, knew what they were doing, right? They thought that this was going to be something that led to some long-term stability. Now they have to come back 20, 30 years later because they have nothing, okay? So it really didn't lead to anything. That's what the whole.
To push back a little bit on you,
I was waiting
Tyrone.
for
Aren't
Gimpy
they
to jump
doing
in
what
and say
CT
some
said?
shit. I'm like,
they're doing exactly what CT said.
Aren't
They're
they?
suing
Because
them and making money that way. And on top of it, if they would have went and married rich people and became wives and been good wives and proper wives to these men who are successful, like I said, they wouldn't have none of these fucking problems, man. There are plenty of women out there who have slept their way to the top, who are billionaires as a result. Like, stop playing this fucking game, dude. For thousands of years, not you personally, you never.
Go ahead.
But for thousands of years, man has given their daughter to the highest bidder, let alone the most.
Well, but you said it's 2026.
Yeah, and because we're coming full circle. I mean that in the sense that you have to look around and your choices are kids who can't read and write at grade level in their 20s, or a 35-year-old who's a dentist who's single, or who's a lawyer who's single.
That's
all of that,
that's an
and all of that
narrow
is.
scope.
And look,
at
let's
where
be
those
honest.
kids are. That's
Let's be honest.
Philadelphia.
There are some people, there are some women that do use that technique. Hell, there's some men that do it. Martha Ray's husband.
Technique.
Okay, it is. I mean, that's what it is.
Hold on, time out, man. It's funny because you called it a technique.
That. What else? How would you describe it?
Tactic, strategy. I don't know.
Anyway, yeah, you can try that, but that has a shelf life to it. Okay, CT, when would you say most women hit the wall?
27, 28.
All right, so they got what? A good 9 years to employ this tactic.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And if they can't do that in that time, then what?
Okay, so they'd be in the same position that the women who didn't do it are in. They'd be in the same position.
I'm sorry. They are the highest winners because the ones who are 40-year-old cat ladies all thought that those ladies were losers. But you know what? At least half of them spent half their lives with guys before they got divorced to be with younger women. At least those other women, like
to answer Tyrone's question, Tyrone, I've seen women. They worked hard. They worked hard teaching, case management, LPNs, nurses. They were fucking for free. Just fucking and not fucking their way to the top, and they're 40 years old in the same boat, miserable.
Well, let me
why
say
not
that.
Between 19 and hit when you hit the wall, and some chicks hit the wall a little later in life. Why not? Why? Let me just finish real quick.
Sure.
You know why I'm on it, Tyrone? I walked past a mega yacht. I don't know if it's technically a mega yacht, but a nice yacht. I don't want to say mega yacht because I want you guys thinking I'm in Miami. I'm not. I'm still in Cleveland. And I said, who is on that boat? Who's on that boat? It was one of the first times I was like, yeah, I felt like a loser. That guy didn't work hard. He figured something out. He cheated the system somehow. He may have had inside information about something. Somebody may have pulled his coattail. You think he was in some classroom studying to get to that yacht? Never. Same thing with women. Man, I've seen so many women, man. They do everything right. And they 40 miserable. Man. You fucking anyway. You might as well just sleep to the top and try to be the boss. Try to be on that yacht with that guy. That's what I'd do if I was a chick. Shit.
You could make that same argument.
I do it. They ain't stupid.
You can say that same thing about a lot of things. I mean, I know a whole bunch of people that ate right, watched their diet.
Sure.
And drop dead
out of here.
And drop dead
before the age of 60.
Yeah.
So let me just say this real quick, Gimpy.
So why not drink alcohol, eat bad, and die anyway?
Yeah.
For my money, pair up as soon as you can, okay? Because Gimpy, you're saying the dentist, but I mean, look, let's take it back to Kevin Samuels. How many of these high-value men are out there to begin with? Okay.
Okay. How many high-value women are out there?
True.
Again, like this is what I'm saying. It's a competition for the 1%. Everyone else is a wash. Everyone else got to fight for what's there, man. So if I'm a parent, I'm not telling look, I know I'm not a parent, and I respect that. You guys, you two have a very unique.
I'm gonna let you finish. Let me say something about not being a parent. Look, I'm not a helicopter pilot, but if I see one in a nosedive, I know something's wrong.
Okay, I get that. I agree with that. But again,
I can
he's very
weigh in
upset at what I said.
on parental issues. I was a child. I was parented.
But again,
so go ahead.
he's very unhappy about what I said. So I'm trying to like not be.
I got you.
So, look, man. At the end of the day, if I had a daughter who was 25 years old right now, lost in the world, and she came to me and she said, "What do I do about relationships?" I would say, just totally disregard everybody in their 20s. I would just say it outright. That would be my advice. Everyone in your age range is not good enough for you. Because if I raised you right, everybody in that range is stupid. They are the 80%. You might find the 1 or 2 kids out there. Sure. There's the diamond in the rough. I'm not arguing that there isn't. But if you want to be realistic, go find some 35-year-old dude who's still single, has no kids, has been establishing himself in some career. Yeah, they're just as rare as the good ones in their 20s, but at least that guy has a track record. That guy has something to show for it. That has something to benefit. That's an instant gain. You get that. That's not a loss. That's not I got to work to something. That's selling. That's marrying, right? But that's, you want to call it sales in fucking CT world. That's selling yourself for a known guaranteed investment. You know what that man's worth. A 23-year-old kid who can't fucking read at grade level is never bringing your kid happiness, and putting your kid into a pool filled with kids who can't fucking read at grade level.
That's very true. I definitely agree. LJ, thank you. I appreciate that. You got a super chat from Kung Fu CJ. I don't know if you saw it.
Nice. He's Kung Fu CJ. Shout out to Kung Fu CJ. Has been a member for 14 months. We do have the membership, guys. If definitely can support the show. I did what CT said, and I got fired and threatened with a lawsuit.
I was going to say, look, you go in there, fuck around with somebody's intellectual property, okay? And you will, the best case scenario is you're going to get sued. The worst case is you might be pulled up on corporate espionage charges. I get what you're saying about, all right, what are they doing? Okay, I can duplicate these processes. Okay, but I'm sure, depending on who you're working for, there is a legally binding clause that says you can't poach our customers with
or that
non-competes.
We're going to take you to jail and directly to jail for fraud.
I get, and I agree with looking at something and saying, okay, this is a successful operation. Maybe I could duplicate these processes and do my own thing with it.
Yeah.
All right. Like I'm going to bring out Uncle T-Bone's chili cheese popcorn, right? But I'm not going to go work for Orville Redenbacher and, steal his fucking recipe.
Yeah, guys, you guys have been spirited this evening. I appreciate it. So, guys, make sure you hit that like button, share, and subscribe to Just the Guys podcast.
Giovanni.
Real quick.
This is why there are 2 sets of people: the bourgeoisie and the proletariat. What if you took IP and you just went to another country and opened up shop? There's 8 billion people on the planet. You have 8 billion potential clients. You have millions of companies. If you steal some IP and you go to, let's say, I don't know, France, is there an international thing? I mean,
there is.
But the other part to that, CT, is that
China. I don't know.
Yeah, but
I don't know, man.
The other part that you guys have talked about on your show, actually, you made this point when you were talking about what would happen if all white people had left the earth, or just there was no more white people.
Yeah.
Taking IP is one thing, but then are you able to implement an actual business strategy to make it work? Right? Because
why not? They did. Why not?
But that's did. I mean, you're just a gear, and if you've seen a watch,
spoken the wheel. But okay, so you become the wheel. But
if you don't know if you don't know how the gears connect, if you don't know how
figure it out, master it, turn off the TV, turn off the phones, and just hone in on one thing.
A few years
Figure
ago,
it out.
This might be about 10 years ago now. A woman got into this arrangement where she had access to Coca-Cola's formula, which is kept in a vault. She had access to this, and she conspired with another individual. They got the recipe, and they sent her black ass to jail.
So they didn't figure out how to. So, but see, Tyrone, the thing is,
but see, here's the thing that they were missing, and Giovanni was alluding to this: the system. Yeah, you got the ingredients, but you don't have the system.
How long did they send her to jail? What was her prison sentence?
That was about 3 years. White collar.
Oh, so she got out of it in a year and a half.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh,
but still, I mean,
yeah, she went to prison.
And still, man, it's the system that matters, man.
Yeah, you got to pay restitution. I mean, how does she profit from that?
And I bet she wrote a book, and I bet she gets all types of deals from speaking about what she did.
I can't say.
Jordan Belfort had a movie made after him, man. Listen, all I'm saying is this. I'm not saying go to that extent. But what I am saying, there you go. That's what I'm saying, man. like you can't make this up. Nice guys never win, man. And I'm learning that the hard. And I learned the hard way. Nice guys never win, man. I'm not saying go to the extreme of like IP to that magnitude, man. But what I'm saying is this, man. There's no nobility in poverty, man. And I've seen people work.
You're right about that.
I've seen people working hard. It's not worth it anymore in this day.
You're right about that. Man. Yeah. And understand now.
If you could skip, man, skip.
The system has tried to romanticize poverty. Okay, people. Oh, I grew up on the rough side of the mountain, and and they go on and on and on about it, right? But you are 100%. There is no nobility in poverty,
and there's no one plays fair. I'm sorry, that's bullshit. I just have to say that because that's a fundamental thing. If you want to talk about fair play and that shit, you're the only one doing it. That's just how it is, man. I'm sorry.
If I had a son and I didn't build any business for him, I don't have a trust fund for him, and he's relatively a good looking kid, I'll tell him, hey man, it's so many old single women that'll take care of your ass, man. They'll give you money, get you about 15 different old MILF girlfriends, because that's what women been doing, right? That's what women been doing. Hey man, listen, Gumpy, I may sound like JP on this, but this is the same thing. Play the game the same way that the women have been doing it. Get you about 10 little girlfriends that are all old, and have them pay your bills. Hey, have them pay your bills.
If that's what my kid wants to do,
forget working hard. Go ahead.
If that's what my kid wants to do, that's what my kid wants to do. But I want something more wholesome. Like I would be more, target a more realistic, like aim for a single girl, woman in her 30s or something like. Because I still always believe in marriage and family above everything, man. Like I'm not like that level of whoring is just beneath me.
How many people?
I agree with the mentality. Like this is what I mean. Like as parents, don't you want the best for your kid? So you guys sit here day in. Hold on, these two guys. I'm talking to the parents. You two guys talk about day in and day out how the school system has failed for over 25 years. Are either of your kids older than 25 years old? Let's start with that. Yes or no?
Come on.
Okay.
No, this is 24.
Okay, so not 25. I picked that for a reason. Like I do know you people. So 24. Neither of your kids are 25. For 25 years, you guys have been saying that the school system has been failing, and that means everybody around her. Now, you again, reason. We all know the scenario. Like me and Giovanni are read in on it. I don't know what the other fellas know, and I'm not looking to spread business, but like you had a unique child rearing experience as a father that isn't normal for other fathers to begin with. And not to get into more, but it demonstrates how difficult it is to raise a child in the modern day. And now she's out and she's old enough and she's ready to have family and kids and all this. Why would you pick the people you have been complaining about can't read, can't write, can't do math at level, can't achieve, don't want to work, want to quietly quit, want to be the problem with everything in society? Why would you tell her, go find a kid your age? I would say, go find someone slightly older than you, enough older than you that you have a metric to measure how much they're willing to work hard for success.
Is that a rhetorical question?
Yeah,
Did you actually want an answer to that?
I do want an answer. I just want to finish. They don't have to be 50, but they can't be 20. Sorry. You can't have a 24-year-old and say you should find a 24-year-old under the conditions you rate other 24-year-olds.
You want to answer that next week, Reason? Next week? Yeah, man, let's answer that next week. We get the answer. Guys, make sure you hit that like button, share, and subscribe to Just the Guys podcast. Like I said, these guys have been had a spirited debate today. But we were talking about doing more than paid for. And I did reflect on this, even right before the show, and just sharing my personal thoughts on it. It made me think of the beginning verse of the beginning of Matthew 6, where Jesus is talking about the people praying. He said, "Don't pray like the heathens do, where they pray out loud." And it said they get their reward. You said, "Go into your quiet place," so God, hears you in secret and He'll bless you in public. And I think, to me, that is the essence of doing more than paid for. Having a vision, having a dream, but doing what's necessary quietly for you, instead of making this big scene of, I'm only doing the bare minimum, or I'm doing this. To me, that's where this really hit me, is that you should always, do what you got to do for what you need to do, but have a goal, have a plan, and work that plan. It doesn't matter. Everything else is just noise. But guys, that does it for us tonight. Make sure you hit that like button, share, subscribe. Tyrone, where can they find you, bro?
Soldiers of Finance. Check us out. We got some good videos. One in particular talks about Malcolm Jamal Warner and pretty much how he failed his family.
There we go.
The wife and daughter are now trying to figure it out financially because he didn't.
There we go. At Soldiers of Finance. Wow. CT, man. At Chaotic Truth Live, man. Tell them where to find you.
Yes. Chaotic Truth Live. Thank you so much, buddy.
Yeah, man. Darth Gimpy, what you got going on, man? Where can they find you, bro?
Nowhere. It's amazing. I don't exist.
You do exist, man. And Voice of Reason, man.
You can catch me at the Voice of _Reason. And that's on everything from TikTok to Instagram, all that good stuff.
All right, there we go. All right, guys, that does it for us tonight. Again, make sure you hit that like button, share, and subscribe. And remember, only monkeys litter. We out. Peace. I got to stop the stream.